It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads. Hi. Unfortunately, you do not have Ethan and Sarah Foreheads today. They mentioned last week they're on a lovely ski trip with their family this week. So
nice.
Hope they're having fun. But You've got me, Grace, the brand manager here, and I have as a guest Chris Blasky. He is our video producer at Around the Ozarks. So everyone say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. All right. Well, let's get into some news.
All right.
Nixa Live has been picked to broadcast the Bass Pro Shops Tournament of Champions. So if you're unfamiliar, I know the Nixa community loves them. It's a high school club turned class at Nixa High School.
Okay.
And they are bringing all of the action from the field to your home. So their notability surged whenever Nixa took their state football championship, and the kids actually were broadcasting that game. Originally, there was like a whole thing about it. If you want to look into the news story about the Misha guy who was, he started in the game and he was a little bit biased from what I could tell. But then the Nixa kids took over and they did a phenomenal job. Like it's 100% done by teenagers, and it's like up with like ESPN level is what some kids have said, or some people have said. So they are the real deal. It is very impressive. So this year they will broadcast 165 live events on Nixa's YouTube channel. And during the school day, they create graphics for the games, interview rival coaches, research the names and stats of both teams to make the broadcast as professional as possible. And they definitely have their work cut out for them on the Tournament of Champions.
That is wildly impressive. You don't see a lot of clubs being able to do that level, to see students like that come together and pull something like that off. That's incredible.
It's amazing. And I don't know if you're part of like the community groups where it's like Nixa has Nixa neighbors and stuff like that. Every time that these boys are doing one of the lives, like you see it, and it's just the whole community is after that. It's really cool to watch. So I'm just really excited for them.
I want to say, I think that might be the same group I heard about during the pandemic, where the students, like a lot of the parents couldn't go to the games. It was just kind of restricted to the students. So it might be the same group. I think this club came together and were able to get these games out to family members that couldn't go to the games during the pandemic. So I think it might be that same group, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. On Friday, Trump took to social media saying that he is planning to push his party to end daylight savings time. And once he gets back into office, now he did write that daylight savings time is inconvenient and very costly to the nation. Now, the practice of changing clocks was originally introduced back in 1942, and it was kind of a wartime measure to kind of help make the most out of the summer and the summer daylight hours. But it's been debated for years. I know that it's been talked about quite a bit on whether or not we were going to go ahead and do away with it. It seems like every year it comes and goes, and we continue on with daylight savings times. But there's actually some health groups that have kind of weighed in on this, including the American Medical Association and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. They have said that it's time that we need to do away with the time switch because it kind of messes with our human biology, and it aligns better with the sun. Makes more sense, I'm sure, in their world than it does for some of us. But I know it just, at least for me and for my wife, it's always hard trying to get through those first few days of that time change. So I'm in favor of doing away with it,
especially
100%.
With kids.
Yeah, because kids don't understand what daylight savings. They don't understand the fall back, the spring forward. They just like their internal clocks stay the same. So it's pretty bad. But most countries actually don't observe daylight savings time. Something that I did not learn until I was in my 20s when I was overseas, and I learned that no other country did it. So I was a little surprised by that and felt a little foolish as well. But Arizona and Hawaii, they also do not change their clocks ever either. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but I say maybe we all should adapt that. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I just recently learned about Arizona. Like it blows my mind, which I don't go over. I've been over that side of the country like once or twice, but like it blows my mind that you could just cross the state line and not about the time zones. Like imagine like just trying to figure out the time zone thing, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, it's like,
and imagine,
I don't blame them.
Right. And imagine crossing over into that state, not knowing that has changed. And like most of our cell phones will auto change depending on where we're at. And just imagining that your phone's just reset to a different time and then you have no idea what's going on. I was like, I think that could really mess with a few people going to Arizona.
Definitely. So, but that will be interesting because
Yeah.
I'm in favor of it. So we'll see what happens.
Let's see if it actually comes through for a change.
Yeah. All right. So snow days are a highlight for kids, but for schools in the Ozarks, they could soon come with a cost. So there is a new state law that says Missouri schools must have at least 169 school days or they risk losing state funding. So in the past, schools only had to meet a required number of teaching hours, but now districts and cities more than 30,000 people need to hit the 169-day mark. The rule doesn't kick in until July of 2026, but it's designed to discourage the 4-day school week that people have kind of started to adapt in some areas. Missing the minimum could cost districts thousands of dollars in funding, which I've heard about the 4-day school week. I just didn't realize, I haven't looked too far into the story. I didn't realize that they were trying to discourage it so much because I felt like in the rural communities, it helped them out quite a bit. But
Well, I know that there's been quite a
state
bit of
doesn't like it.
discussion. Yeah, it's been one of those. I've seen it kind of both arguments on that quite a bit. I've seen so for some parents they see it as kind of a challenge because of childcare. It's
Hmm.
like now you have to find an
Yes.
additional day of childcare, and then there's been others that also say that it's like students have thrived in that environment. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like which direction do you go to in that regard?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. So Springfield Public Schools, they already had 172 days this year, so they're fine. But like I said, the more rural areas are going to feel the pressure of the
Oh yeah,
situation. So,
definitely.
and a lot of the school days or the snow days, instead of seeing full on snow days in the future, you'll more likely see the late start and early release just so that they can have those days counting towards that total.
Well, I do know that apparently there has been multiple people that have been receiving a scam call claiming that a warrant has been issued for their arrest. And I've heard this story been circulating for some time now, but apparently there is this getting claims that there's a warrant out for their arrest, and it's all coming apparently from the Christian County Sheriff's Office. They're saying that they've been receiving a lot of these scam calls or complaints about these scam calls of people calling in and finding out what is going on. And what the scammers are telling them is that they have failed to appear for a grand jury hearing, which this apparently was allegedly sent by the mail. Now, Sheriff Brad Cole has advised the following for any individual that comes across one of these scams is if you receive a suspicious call claiming to be from the sheriff's office or any law enforcement agency, do not take it for face value. To contact the Christian County Sheriff's Office directly and to verify the authenticity of the call. And as always, never send any money, gift cards, or any form of payment to anybody over the phone ever.
Yeah, those have been very prevalent lately. Like it's kind of crazy that I just
Right.
never answer my phone at all, which is probably bad.
Right.
But like if it's somebody I don't know, it's like if it's important, they'll leave me a voicemail. So I just leave it at that.
I always go with send me something in the mail. I always go to that as
Hmm.
my result. And if you can't
Hmm.
send me something, then I was like, well, then I'm not too worried about it then. So that's
Yeah.
usually my go-to.
Yes. All right. Well, we love our nonprofits here at Around the Ozarks, and Help
Absolutely.
Give Hope is a children's nonprofit that's been serving the Ozarks for over 40 years now, and they're going to be distributing Christmas gifts to and household essentials to 156 families on the 17th and 18th, which is tomorrow and Wednesday. And then this year's effort will bring joy to 664 individuals by providing not only requested gifts, but also the practical needs like beds, furniture, and large appliances. So,
Wow.
yeah, I didn't really hear a lot about, I haven't heard a lot about this nonprofit, honestly, but a friend actually shared this with me, and it's a really cool thing. The volunteers personally shop for each of their family members' wish lists. And
Okay.
then they are ensuring that the items are brand new, meaningful, and thoughtfully selected. So it's not just a bunch of hand me downs or just
Right.
things that people didn't want. It's all very hand selected. And the highlights include over 100 beds and cribs, along with a few new bicycles for kids. And they're ready to brighten the holidays. And if anyone's interested, if you know anyone who would benefit from this nonprofit, each year in September is when the application process begins, and they carefully screen all the applicants to ensure that assistance is directed to those in the greatest need. And if you want to help out, their website is helpgivehope.org, and you can donate whenever you'd like. So I thought that
That's
was
great.
pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
Yeah.
nonprofits, and this one kind of hits close to my home because I'm a big animal lover, but Care Animal Rescue Home for the holiday, Home for the Holidays is officially underway. Now, Home for the Holidays is kind of a time for free adoption for all animals at the Care Animal Rescue Center, and it's going to be running all the way up through December 31st of this year. Now, they're going to be open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and they're going to be located off of West Sunshine. So, like I've said before on the Bull, if you need a furry little friend for the holiday season, this is a great opportunity, I think, to look into this and give those furry creatures a home. Why not?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. On the Bull, you and I are terrible influences
Oh
because
yeah,
you're like,
constantly.
come on, you need a dog.
Oh,
Don't you
absolutely.
need a dog?
Anybody that's ever told me that was like, I don't need a dog, and I'm like, yes. Then that's
Yes,
just,
you
it's even
do.
more. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I got two dogs in my house, and my kid absolutely loves them. So yeah, you need
Hmm.
a furry
Yes.
friend this holiday season. Get one from the Care Animal Rescue. They're great people over there.
Yes. All right. So the Toast to Tourism Awards are underway as well. So Visit Springfield is now accepting nominations for the 2025 Toast to Tourism Awards. These awards honor individuals and organizations advancing tourism in Springfield. There are 5 big awards to choose from for your nominations, and multiple nominations are welcome. If you got someone that, or if you got multiple people, or you got people who could fit multiple categories, you can nominate as many times as you'd like. And then the event will be held in the spring. So keep an eye out for the exact date of the award ceremony. And the deadline to submit nominations is January 31st. And go to springfieldmo.org for more information and to nominate someone that you think has really made Springfield shine for newcomers.
Now, here's something that when we were talking a little bit before we got on air here that I got a little excited about. Just announced after a 5-year hiatus, the highly anticipated Ozark Bacon Fest is going to be returning. The 8th annual event is going to be celebrating the ultimate trio of bacon, bourbon, and beer, and it's all going to be taking place coming up here Saturday, September 27th of 2025, and it's going to be at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. It's going to be the E-Plex right here in Springfield, and the festival promises to deliver an unforgettable experience in a bacon wonderland. That's a direct quote. Bacon wonderland. So
It is.
yeah, it really is. And where attendees are going to have an opportunity to sample some bacon themed dishes, all going to be crafted by some of the finest chefs right here in the Ozarks. Now, tickets are going to go on sale for this event coming up here this summer of 2025. You can get those tickets over at ozarkbaconfest.com, but there's only going to be about 600 general admission tickets that are going to be available. So as soon as those become available, you should really keep an eye out for them. Make sure to snag those up. And again, those are going to go on sale coming up here summer of next year. Bacon Fest coming back to the Ozark Empire
Yeah.
Fairground.
I have a brother-in-law that I think if he's listening to this, he's going to be like putting it on his calendar to watch for it every single day because he's a foodie and just like I hadn't gone to this before, but apparently they haven't done it in over 5 years, so
Yeah.
that'll be a fun comeback.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
So this
right.
might be Christmas come early for him a little bit.
Yes, it will be. All right. So we've got 2 contests that we want to hit on before we go.
Yep.
It is the last week of the Branson Bowl. You have heard Ethan and Sarah talking about it for this will be the 17th week because we did it the whole regular season of football. So it's the last week, and this week's prize is a Tony Richardson signed jersey and the Branson official vacation destination of the KC Chiefs custom gear, which, as Sarah said, that's a mouthful. So I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it out in one take.
Well done.
Yes. All right. So all you need to do is go to aroundtheozarks.com, click on contest, and then you will enter the keyword. And so, Chris, would you mind doing your best Ethan impression with what the keyword is this week?
The keyword is musicians.
That was
Did I get
beautiful.
it? Did I get it?
He's gonna be proud of you.
All right. Did my best password, game show password.
Yes.
So.
That was great. All right. So go ahead and enter, and then we will announce the final winner on Friday.
And in case you're missed getting the Chiefs tickets with the Branson Bowl, we've got another chance just for you. Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair and Waterproofing has been teaming up with us to give one lucky winner a pair of tickets to the first home Chiefs playoff game, which, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs got another victory over the Cleveland Browns. So doing very well. Very excited for playoffs this year. And just go to aroundtheozarks.com and click on contest. You'll see it. No special keywords needed for this one. It's easy peasy.
Yeah. Well, We got plenty of Chiefs things keeping us busy this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's all we got for you today. So thank you for spending this Monday morning with us. And we'll be seeing you the rest of the week because Ethan and Sarah are skiing.
Guess we got to work.
Yeah, we got to work while they're skiing and having fun.
Must be nice.
But all right. For real. All right. Have a good day.
See you later.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend across the Ozarks. We had rainfall and cool temperatures, but numbers will stay mild as we start the new work week. And in fact, numbers this morning, they're starting out in the mid 50s. Of course, we had the rain and some thunderstorm activity. You may have heard that overnight. A bit tired today in some areas, but the good news is the rain is moving out today. The sky will gradually start to clear, and we do get some relief from the wet weather in the forecast, at least during the day today and most of the daylight hours on Tuesday. Those rain showers are moving out of the area after dropping significant rainfall amounts for our southeastern counties. Amounts remained low, less than 1/4 of an inch along and north of I-44 as expected. The higher totals have been happening down in the southeastern Ozarks, southeast of I-44, and that's where we still have some lingering thick cloud cover, some drizzle this morning. It's not a whole lot left on the radar, but that's going to be moving out as we go through the mid-morning hours. Cloud cover then takes over and the skies will clear. What happens now, though, now that we're on the backside of a cold front pushing through first thing this morning, we get a wind shift. So our south winds will turn to the northwest, and it does get a bit gusty later today. Even though the drier air is working its way in, we'll see sunshine take over. I'm expecting it to feel colder than it is because the northwest wind will be gusting up to 20 miles an hour today. So you might want to add the thicker coat today, even though temperatures don't look so bad on the thermometer with numbers in the middle 50s. Speaking of, we're starting out in the mid 50s and we will warm to the mid and upper 50s today, even low 60s for a few of you. It's not going to feel that warm when you factor in the wind, but overall, this is a mild day in the forecast, and I'm expecting temperatures to remain pretty mild here as we head into Tuesday as well. Above normal today and tomorrow, and then it'll be turning a little bit colder by the time we get to Wednesday. Another cold front heads our direction late tomorrow night. That one also has the potential to bring us a bit of rainfall in the forecast, but it will allow for some shower activity late Tuesday into early Wednesday. And you can see the drop in temperatures here goes from 50s and 60s for highs today's and tomorrow to about the mid 40s for highs both Wednesday and Thursday. Those low temperatures are going to drop again too. So mild this morning in the 50s. Tonight we'll fall back into the 30s near the freezing point. We fall to the 20s though for Wednesday morning into Thursday morning. So there are a couple of really chilly starts to the work week here in the Ozarks as we head into the rest of the week. Around the country, it's a reminder that things could be worse. So wintry mix happening for the Appalachians and the Northern Plains. That began yesterday. It continues for many areas, lingering on this morning. Showers and thunderstorms also for portions of the lower Ohio River Valley, as well as much of the Midwest. We are seeing those rain chances move southeast of the Ozarks today. We've also got a new storm system out off the Pacific, bringing more moisture to the Pacific Northwest. Low elevations getting the rainfall, higher elevations seeing the wintry weather and snowfall once again. So very active out there. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. And this one, well, I don't know about you, but this song has been playing a whole lot in my house, in my car. My kids love it. The song Jingle Bells. It was originally written to celebrate what holiday? Do you think that's A, Easter, B, Thanksgiving, C, Christmas, D, New Year's Day? Well, it seems like a perfect Christmas song, which is, of course, how we all know it. But it is not. In fact, originally, B, Thanksgiving is the correct answer. The song Jingle Bells was originally written to celebrate Thanksgiving. Its author, James Lord Pierpont, wrote the song in 1850 for his church's Thanksgiving Sunday school class. The song was originally titled One Horse Open Sleigh. The title later changed to Jingle Bells in 1859. Inspiration behind the song, it was inspired by the New England sleigh races that were very popular in the 1800s. The jingling bells in the song refers to these races. Its first performance, Pierpont performed the song at a Thanksgiving concert, and it was first published in 1857. The song became associated with Christmas decades after it was performed on Washington Street in Boston on September 15th, 1857. And of course, it now still is one of the most popular holiday tunes. And I think a lot of band concerts are playing this one around the country for those Christmas concerts. Congrats if Thanksgiving was your guess. That's the correct answer. All right, here is the next chance to win. What country did eggnog come from? Where did it originate? Do you think that's A, England, B, Ireland, C, Italy, or D, France? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Big shout out to Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air for sponsoring Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. And thank you so much for listening this morning and starting out the new work week with us. Last week before Christmas, hard to believe it. Not too bad for us today. A little bit windy, but overall the temperatures look nice and the rain is moving on out of here. I'll be back to chat with you again tomorrow morning.